Hey guys, I'm James and welcome back to Mostly Helpful. In today's video I'm going to talk to you about this, my Makita DTW190 with half-inch adapter on the end. I've got a couple of things I just want to do on the car, take this wheel off, and I want to show you how I'm getting on with this a couple of years after I bought it. Let's have a look at the tool first and then I'll talk about using it in action. So here it is, and I bought this 3 years ago, mainly because I did quite a bit of work on my own cars and I just wanted something that gave me a bit more oomph when removing some of those bolts. I bought it as a bare drive, so it comes just like this. I already had a battery from some of my other Makita tools, and I've just checked the price. Currently it's £69 in the UK as a bare drive, so still a current model. You've got your rubberized grip here. You have a little LED just in here, sort of work light, half-inch on here for taking your half-inch sockets. There is a belt clip that I haven't got attached here, and then just a bit of serial information here. So mine was built November 2017 and I bought it early 2018. In terms of batteries, this is the LXT platform, 18 volts. This is a 3 amp unit. They also do 5 amp, 6 amp, but this is more than enough for what I need to use it for. So let me now show you it with some wheel nuts. Now, when I bought this impact wrench, I actually did a very quick video on it's one of the first things I used it for, which was to wind out the strut nut on a mini Cooper S strut. I'll see if I can insert that video right here. And that worked perfectly in terms of getting that nut off without needing to hold the damper on and that kind of thing. The one thing I've noticed about this impact wrench is that it doesn't seem to be able to cope with wheel nuts. Now, Makita say that it's got a nut tightening torque of 190 Newton meters and a nut busting torque of 320 or 330. And I've got my Mercedes wheel here. I've loosened these three off because I'm going to retighten them to the manufacturer torque spec, which in Mercedes, for this car, or probably for most Mercedes, is 130 Newton meters. So I'm just going to get this working to 130, there we go. And I'm just going to tighten these three. I'm not going to do the locking wheel nut one, always a bit nervous about those. But let's just put all of these up to 130 Newton meters and let's see what we can do. And then there we go. So they're all done to 130. I've got my 17mm impact socket on my wrench, a fully charged battery, and an impact wrench that should be able to nut bust 320 or 330 Newton meters. Let's see. In we go. And that hasn't done anything. And this is I don't know if it's this or me or my technique or anything, but it just won't undo a wheel nut. When it's tightened to 130 Newton meters. So, if I now undo those slightly, just enough to take off that torque, and then if we get the impact wrench again, I'll only do one, but what we'll see is that comes out absolutely no problem. So my conclusion is that this is the baby one of the range, and it's perfect for my needs in terms of doing bolts around the car that aren't too beefy. But as soon as you get something that needs that needs to be wound out that's over 100 Newton meters of torque, it does seem to struggle. And I don't understand, because the nut busting spec on this is way higher. So this isn't really a review of the tool. There are many of those already on YouTube, but I wanted to point out to people that if you're buying this explicitly for doing wheel nuts, I think it's not going to be man enough for the job. I think you need to go further up the range. There are other Makita impact wrench tools with more torque capability. I'm still happy, it still works perfectly for me. I've got plenty of other tools for undoing wheel nuts, so I'm not unduly concerned. But if you want it for wheel nuts, buy a different tool in the Makita range. Stick with Makita,
but buy a beefier impact wrench. I hope that's helpful, guys. Just a quick one on this subject, but do keep your eyes out for more Makita power tool stuff. I've got plenty of other tools in the garage to review, and I'll be bringing that content to you very soon. Until then, thanks and goodbye.